Hi citizens. Have you ever asked yourself about La Violencia period? Can you imagine how La Violencia would be nowadays? Imagine there is a civil war because of a political and financial crisis. This has produced the creation of two insurgent groups, each one fighting to obtain resources. Here, we are going to teach you how to manage these resources and how to survive to a civil war.
As a short thing, it is important to collect water in bottles or in any kind of containers as soon as the civil war starts. It's important that the water has to be able to drink, and the containers have to be sanitized. You can collect it from home if it is possible, or collect it from rainwaters. Additionally, it's important to recognize where are the water sources in the city or near to the city, so we can get creative and make a map that shows the water sources in Bogota, for example, like clean rivers or neighborhoods with water tanks.
The subject of my title is survival food and basic cooking equipment in an event of a civil war. Let's begin talking about the types of food you should store. During a civil war, it's crucial to have food that is high in nutrition, can be stored for a long period. Canned foods such as chicken, beans are excellent choices because they are high in protein. Canned vegetables are also recommended since they are ready to eat and require no preparation. Next, instant food like soup and dried fruits are also useful. They are lightweight, nutrients, quick to prepare, ideal for emergency situations. Now let's discuss the essential tools and utensils you will need to prepare this food safely and efficiently. For example, a portable stove, a full such as a propane, gas canister or wood, durable pots and pans, a manual can opener, basic eating, for example spoons, forks or knives. In short, having a stock of nutrition, long-lasting food along with basic cooking tools can be a crucial difference in your ability to survive during a civil conflict.
Hey, I'm Tomás. Now I'm going to talk to you about the basics of security, an important aspect if we want to survive. First of all, as a general rule, we need to keep a low profile at all times. To ensure security in the shelter, install a simple warning system such as a bell in the entrance to alert if intruders enter. Placing warning traps outside the shelter can be very useful too. And as a group, we need to establish night watches with rotating shifts every few hours to maintain the shelter in constant vigilance. When it comes to conflict, it's important to avoid fighting unless it is absolutely necessary. And the ideal would be to always fight as a group. For self-defense, we can use any object that can cause harm, like daggers, hammers, knives, or even baseball bats. And for personal protection, it's recommended to wear light armor to maintain mobility and be able to run or hide. Some good options are thick clothing like leather jackets, improvised chest armor, backpacks, work boots, bicycle helmets, masks, and knee pads.
Let's talk about shelter. First, it is important to have some priorities. First, to be far from conflict zones, main roads, public buildings, or military bases. This is, for example, to choose abandoned structures, greenhouses, warehouses with, for example, dilapidated facades. Then, what are the ideal locations? The ideal locations are basements, abandoned stations, disused industrial areas, forgotten houses in suburbs. Now that we have our shelter, it is important to have key rules and some tips of basic protection. First, key rules. Never use light visible from the outside at night. Second, to cover windows with dark cloth from the inside. third, to change entry and exit routes constantly. And finally, to avoid leaving traces, for example, footprints, weapons, visible fire, and basic protection. What are these tips? First, to reinforce doors with furniture or wood. And finally, to have at least 2 escape routes.
Another X factor can be communication via radio, using encrypted language to communicate with our allies.
Other X factor that can be used is basic survival escapes, for example, make fire, or move without GPS, or basic first aid.
Trust buildings formate allies. In war, we need to know how fight.